Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a review on An Ember in the Ashes. It is a young adult novel by Saba Tahir. I think it's Tahir. This book was so amazing. I got it last Christmas and I breezed through it in like a week. The writing style is fairly easy, nothing too much. What I really do like about it is the way that the chapters are done. So it switches perspectives between the two main characters. And we have a main character, there's a girl named Laia, I believe it's spelled L-A-I-A, I'm assuming that's Laia, but if I'm wrong, sorry about that. And a boy called Elias. And they're both about between like 17 and 20 years old, I think. And basically, Laia comes from a poor family, part of the, like, poor part of the town, and, you know, she lives with her grandparents and her brother. And her brother gets taken, and don't worry, I'm not spoiling very much, this is all just right at the beginning. I think you can actually read this in the sleeve. But yeah, her brother gets taken by the, like, military for treason, and she goes and tries to find him because something happens to her grandparents, and as a result, she wants to find her brother. And Elias is our other main character. He is a member of the military, but sort of like a really intensely trained assassin type of the military. Like, he's not just your average soldier, he's like a really impressive one, and he's super smart, super talented, this sort of thing. And so, basically, the way that the story is done is they're set up with the compound where the military is trained, and they live, that sort of thing, and also the town where Laia comes from, and eventually throughout the story, Laia and Elias meet, and things happen. But the reason I like the story so much, in comparison to other young adult novels, is because of the depth that are put into the characters. Like, there's a commandant character, like the leader of the military, a woman, and she's so ferocious, she's so scary, and all the characters in the book are written differently. They're very much different characters. All the women are different, all the men are different, and they have a lot of emotional depth and character development. The book is not just romance, where I find that a lot of young adult books now are heavily featured in romance. Maybe they start off exciting and then they go down to romance. And I know that a lot of people like that. I don't have a huge problem with it. I just don't like when that's the whole story, or that's the whole lead up. Like, basically, you're waiting for them to get together. I don't really care about that. This book really doesn't feature romance very much at all, and I really find that refreshing. It's got sort of like a Hunger Games aspect to it. It's got sort of like a supernatural aspect, like a magical kind of aspect to it, and because of that I find it to be pretty unique and compelling. It's set in sort of like a Roman Colosseum type of a location, I would say. Sort of reminiscent of like ancient Greeks or ancient Romans, but they're a lot more technologically advanced than that. So I really do think it's a good book. I would definitely say if you're into like history or sort of like sci-fi, that this is a really, really great book for that. With the writing style, it's easily my favorite young adult novel I've read in a very long time. It's part of a series. I know there's going to be a second book coming out at the end of August. That's actually why I want to do this video now. So maybe if you guys were interested, you'd have time to read it before the next one comes out. But yeah, the first one is actually very well contained. It does set itself up for a sequel, but everything kind of happens in the first one. And aside from like one main goal that doesn't get accomplished, you could just read this and never have another. But I loved it so much that I was desperate for the next one. Everything about it, like the Elias character is so compelling to me. I think he's so cool, so interesting, and I loved reading his parts. The Laia parts did drag on a little bit just at the beginning because she had to overcome a lot of personal problems, and because of that, it did feel like it dragged a little bit when she was trying to learn to be different. But that's probably just like a thing with me. I don't particularly like reading about weak characters, because I read a lot of stuff that's like, this guy's so strong, or he's so brave, or he's so wonderful, that reading about characters that are kind of like having a hard time gets a little boring to me. But I mean, the fact that you have to read through that makes her journey a lot more interesting. And overall, I think that if you like books that are sort of action-packed, have a bit of like a mystery to it, just a tiny bit, it's very good. It's a very good book, and all the romance that's in it is sort of, it just makes a lot of sense for the book. Like, none of it is forced, none of it is ever like too mushy. It all makes perfect sense in the book. And yeah, I definitely would give it a try if you're interested. Again, it's An Ember in the Ashes by Saba to Her, and the next one comes out August 30th. I don't remember what it's called, but you can find it easily. Just look it up on Goodreads. I can even link it in the description box. Maybe I'll just do that. And yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. I think it was truly excellent for a young adult book. Obviously, it's not gonna pack as much of a punch as a much longer, like, adult book, but it's definitely a good read, and I would recommend it to anybody regardless of your reading level or anything like that. It's very easy, and due to the fact that it has fairly short chapters and it goes from one perspective to another, it's really easy to get through because you breeze through one and it's like, oh, I really want to know what happens to Elias next, and you have to read like 30 pages more. So yeah, I absolutely breezed through it. I think it's an amazing book. And I hope you guys like this video. I love to read, and I read a ton of books, a ton of young adult and adult books. So if you guys are interested, please give this a thumbs up and I will do more. I still probably will do more anyway, but it's always nice to know if you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye! Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a ColourPop unboxing and first impressions. I've never ordered from ColourPop before, and